All right, let's start. So let's just settle into our meditation posture and just bring your mind to where your body is. And there's a lot going on in the world right now. So if you're finding you're a little bit disturbed or you're not sleeping very well, maybe you're worried. I mean, it's reasonable. So just acknowledge to yourself that this is what's going on, and you can just allow yourself to feel what's happening in the world. Try not to get too distressed by it. I'm finding it a little bit disturbing. So check your posture. Your feet are down on the. If your feet are down on the ground, just make sure you don't have your ankles crossed or anything. So they're in a parallel position. And then your sit bones, have them under something firm. And make sure they're evenly distributed, the weight is evenly distributed. And if you are sitting in the regular cross-legged position, you could have something underneath each knee. You want your sit bones your hips to be slightly raised. Your hands are in the meditation posture, the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. Imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light. And this light you can imagine it shining in your body. And someone's above you, behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And the crown of your head is reaching for the ceiling. Now your head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the lengths of the nose, to the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. And relax the scalp, the top of the head, the crown of the head, and the forehead and the eyes. And go to the back of the head, the back of the eye socket. Relax that area there, and the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. And then bring your awareness to the back of your head, the scalp there. Relax the scalp and the ears, your inner ear, your temples, the back of the neck, your shoulders, upper thoracic, in between your shoulder blades, throat, chest, belly, your limbs, hands, fingers, feet and toes. And just bring your mind to the breath. And then notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, as you exhale, it's slightly warmer. If you do have any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. And try not to push the sounds away with diversion if they're annoying you, or have your mind run off to investigate. And just try not to allow yourself to become distracted. And then notice your thoughts. And just watch them arise and abide and fall without engaging in a conversation, or without criticizing yourself or judging yourself. Just allow your thoughts to flow. And keep the mind on the breath. And then we bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, our dear friends, people who just continually offer us their strength, even though they're tired or in pain. These people who really care about you, we should never take them for granted. Then there's this category of people that we know we don't like and they don't like us. And in the texts they call that's the group of enemies. This is how we label them. And then we have our group of people that we're indifferent to because we don't really know them and we don't really care. They're a bunch of strangers. I always find it interesting to think over the past year and bring to mind the people in your life who were once close friends, now are strangers. Or perhaps somehow they're not friends anymore, they've hurt you. Then perhaps there's a stranger who now has become very dear to you. So they change places. We need to be aware of this. The friend, the enemy, and the stranger can change place at any time in your life. And they're all equal, these three groups of people, in their wish to be happy, constantly looking for it, never finding it. They wish to avoid suffering, constantly running into problems, and with this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment, this amazing potential that we all have, we've always had within us, and is who we actually are. So I think tonight we'll do our meditation practice for the sake of all these beings in our life, by extension all sentient beings, and think particularly of the people in Europe, Ukraine, Russia, and many refugees right now, people taking care of them, people sitting in bomb shelters with their cats in cat carriers. I mean, it's difficult. So we think of these people who are suffering right now because of this war. You can imagine we're doing this purification on their behalf as well. So just remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So now we're going to create some positivity with our mind, with this practice. So first of all, in this practice, we have the first of the four opponent powers is the power of regret. So we sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm anybody today. Last week, this life. And we also may have done something that we don't know was harmful to another person, that hurt their feelings. So reason to regret is based on this idea of karma. Everything we experience, good and bad, is based on the karmic seeds that we have planted, is based on our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience some form of suffering in the future, and we never know when those seeds will ripen. So this is kind of a scary, kind of insecure sort of feeling. So we don't want that. So logically, you would want to pull out these karmic seeds. It's almost like a minefield, where you don't know which bomb is going to go off and which isn't. So it's like this is how we run through life. So we'd want to kind of neutralize the bombs, pull out the karmic seeds before they ripen as our future suffering. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. So we also regret our delusions, the anger, the attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I'm sick of this suffering. So who can we turn to? Well, we turn to Vajrasattva here. We rely upon Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not wanting Buddha or Vajrasattva or anybody to forgive us. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for healing by using the methods. We want to learn how to heal ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head, about 2 inches above the crown of your head. And you can imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, manifesting in this form for your benefit. So he's made of blissful, radiant white light, sort of like a hologram. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus, and he has this beautiful, radiant face, youthful, ageless. He has his lotus-like eyes, they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you. He has no judgmental thoughts towards you. He's accepting you exactly as you are. He's meeting you where you're at. His hair is black, tied up in a top knot. He has a sweet red mouth. And on his head is the 5-pointed crown, embedded with jewels. And he's wearing necklaces and bracelets, all kinds of ornaments on his ankles, around his waist, and he's wearing these silken robes. Well, they're just kind of scarves, sort of draped all over him in the celestial, royal Indian style. All of this is made of light. And you can make it whatever material you like, whatever pattern you like. Maybe you can have jewels on his clothes. And he has an aura around his head and around his body. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this section on compassion. So just think of the people that you've harmed and try and develop a sense of compassion for them. Maybe bring to mind someone you've harmed recently. And you develop in your mind a wish for them to not suffer. And then remember those who have harmed you. You have compassion for them because of the harm that they've caused you is going to create suffering for them in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. Just one. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine. I'm doing this practice with visualization and mantra recitation. So here we have the purification of the body. And you just imagine that Guru Vajrasattva sends powerful white nectar. It's almost like pouring out of a hose, waterfall, quite strongly. And arcs around, enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And so it pours into you and fills you up and eventually forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body. And sometimes, and when you do the retreat, the Vajrasattva retreat, if you do it, what they actually say in the text, they actually talk about animals like scorpions and all kinds of, this kind of animal all your negativities get pushed out of you in this form, and thick, black, yucky, oily smoke. It's kind of like just getting rid of all this kind of nastiness. But it's a bit vivid. But anyway, that's another thing that you can think about if you wish, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sabasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech, and Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other now than benefit others with your speech. So just imagine how amazing would that be. So the next is a purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light, this time from his heart chakra, and then arcs around, pours into you through the crown of your head, fills you completely, this light. And you can imagine it's the same as when you walk into a room, switch on a light. That light dispels the darkness instantly. It's the same here. As the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your depression, attachment, grasping, neediness, wanting things, not feeling enough, jealousy, anger, bitterness, grudges, all of this is just delusion. It's instantly dispelled upon the light touching your heart. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And this time imagine that Guru Vajrasattva sends light again and nectar, fills you completely. And as we've been doing, you can imagine the visualizations of the previous body, speech and mind, and maybe just do a couple of mantras for each one, body, speech, mind. Or just visualize light and nectar pouring into you, and it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa. Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame. Siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So here we come to the power of resolve. So just keep working on things the way you have been. You know, if there's something that you're particularly working on right now, first of all, congratulate yourself on the progress you're making. And then maybe you can refine it a bit. So if it's something to do with your speech, maybe it's with a specific person. Maybe you swear a bit more than maybe we all should. That's called harsh speech. So just make a resolve. We're not going to choose something to work on between tonight and tomorrow. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into a white light, and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can think maybe the way we are perceiving things, the way we see things, the way we understand things may not necessarily be the way they are existing in reality. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we have created by doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And our long life prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we go, gone like a dream, just like our life seems to be going. I don't know, the months are going so fast, I can't believe it. It's almost like I'm going to be dead soon. Never mind.
That's wonderful, Katy.